Today I tell the story of the day I got my dream football boots, which also happened to be the same day that they broke. What's going on, guys? Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com here to tell you a pretty funny story now, but looking back, 15-year-old me didn't think it was quite as funny. And let me know what you guys think of this style of video. I've done a few football boot stories in the last couple of weeks. All of them you seem to have liked, so if you like these types of videos and want to see more, be sure to support this one with a like. And if you are new here watching for the first time and don't want to miss out on future content from me, I post new videos every single day, so make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell notification so you get notified when the next new video goes live. Obviously, my taste in football boots has evolved over the years. If you ask me what I like to wear right now, soft, leather boots, comfortable, that's kind of my number one priority for the most part, although there are plenty of boots that aren't leather that I'm a big fan of. However, 15-year-old me was really into Mercurials, and I think most people growing up as boot enthusiasts, they have their Mercurial phase at one point or another, and around 14 years old, I was pretty much obsessed with Mercurials. My first ever pair of Nike Mercurials is one of the more controversial ones throughout the line's history, and that is the Mercurial Vapor 4, which some people think is an incredible looking boot. I am of that opinion. And some people think it's the ugliest Mercurial Nike ever made, mainly down to the lace cover and the large Nike swoosh that has now become a pretty signature design element across the entire Nike brand, and this was the first boot to have this. Along with the lace cover that is arguably kind of ugly and certainly made the boots very difficult to put on and take off, especially when they were brand new because it needed to stretch a little bit, the upper is made out of Teijin synthetic, and it featured this very unique glass fiber kind of heel counter midfoot wrap type thing that looks very cool. It does feature technically what is a split sole with a very aggressive Mercurial stud pattern and these pink death pads in the heel, which admittedly aren't as uncomfortable, at least based on my experience, than the yellow death pad that you had in the Mercurial Vapor 3. But either way, I had these growing up and they caused my heels to bleed repeatedly. Either way, this was my first ever pair of Mercurial Vapors and I was stoked on them. And I had them at launch, but not in the orange and black colorway that pretty much everybody had. I wanted to be different, so I went and got the dark bluish purple ones. Depending on the light, they almost looked black, but they were definitely purple and had a little bit of a light blue sparkle in them with the light blue swoosh. Looking back, I think it's probably one of the worst colorways of the Mercurial Vapor 4, but at the time, that's the pair that I wanted, and that's the pair that I got. Now, if you've watched this channel for a long time, you might have seen a video that I made years ago titled something along the lines of "My cat peed in my football boots," and that story had to do with that original pair of Mercurial Vapor 4s that I had, where all of a sudden they started to smell like some kind of animal urine. I had dogs and cats at the time, so I kind of just assumed that maybe the cat or the dog peed in my boots that I left out, like I always would do to let them dry. It had never happened before, but maybe that's what happened. The smell, however, was very, very strong, and there was pretty much nothing you could do. We tried pretty much everything to try and make the smell go away. My boots smelling had never been an issue up until that point. So, trying to solve this problem, I decided to just do a little bit of Googling, and I stumbled across an actual recall put out by Nike for the Mercurial Vapor 4, and I believe one of the T90 laser models available at that time that utilized some form of natural material in the makeup of the boot. I'm not exactly sure if it was a part of the upper or the sole plate or if it was a specific glue. Either way, it was a natural material that when it would get wet from actual water or just general sweat, it would rot, and once that material rotted, it had a smell of cat urine. That's actually what was described in this recall, and you could actually send your boots into Nike to have them replaced for a newer pair that no longer had that natural material that would rot and make your boots smell like cat pee. This sounds made up, but this was actually a thing. So even though I really liked my Vapor 4s and I had only had them for a short period of time, there was nothing wrong with them other than the horrible smell. I decided that would probably be a good idea to send them back to Nike and get a replacement pair, kind of assuming that they would send me the exact same boots in the exact same color, but without this particular issue. But I ended up getting this exact color of the Vapor 4, which honestly, I wasn't upset about at the time. I wasn't into super bright boots, but I actually really like this colorway, and I'm glad I have a brand new pair in my collection now. And I was really stoked on these until Nike decided to basically, right around the time I got these, put out the Mercurial Vapor 4 SL, which is basically the exact same boot, but with a carbon fiber sole plate and heel counter. Now, a lot of people recognize the Carbon Mercurial SLs as the first ever boots from Nike to feature the carbon fiber sole plate, but actually before that release, Nike put out several colorways of the Mercurial Vapor 4 SL that of course features that exact same carbon fiber sole plate. This is basically the Superfly before the Superfly, because up until this particular release, the Vapor was the flagship Mercurial. That was the only top end model of each generation. But now we had the regular Vapor 4, which I had, $200 retail price, and then they put out the $300 Mercurial Vapor 4 SL with a carbon fiber sole plate that of course 15-year-old me wanted very, very badly. Here are a few of the benefits of the Vapor 4 SL over the regular old Vapor 4. You got a carbon fiber sole plate, which as the name would suggest, SL, which stands for super light, made for a lighter overall construction. Not by much, but enough for 15-year-old me to really care. Also, I do have the soft ground version here as an example. There was of course a firm ground model, which was pretty much the only one you could buy at the time. The soft ground ones were more so pro-issued stuff that you couldn't get until after the fact. Either way, the firm ground stud pattern with the carbon fiber sole plate actually eliminated one of the studs in the middle that I really think probably made for worse traction in the long run, but the logic there is that without an extra stud, you would make the boots that much lighter, even though the weight difference wasn't that significant to begin with. Other than that, it was an extra $100 basically just for the sake of bragging rights. So even though I just got this brand new, perfectly good pair of Vapor 4s due to this freak cat pee smell situation, 15-year-old me decided that he really needed a pair of Vapor 4 SLs with the carbon fiber sole plate. Unfortunately, 15-year-old me also did not have $300. And as you'd expect, and as they should have done, my parents completely shut me down when I asked for them. So what I did is basically what any broke 15-year-old who really wanted one specific thing would do. I saved up enough money over the course of several months to blow all of that money that I saved on that one thing that I really didn't need that badly. But I finally got a pair of Vapor 4 SLs. Luckily, I found them on sale in this exact Marina Volt color. I had the firm ground variation, and I was super, super excited to basically have my dream boots. Those were actually the first pair of football boots that I had ever ordered online, so I waited around a week for them to finally arrive in the mail. They showed up, I ripped open the box, and I had my Vapor 4 SLs. A couple things that I noted as a 15-year-old is that they definitely felt lighter than the Vapor 4s that I already had. The other thing that I noted, and this is an opinion that seemed to vary from person to person, is that I just found the Vapor 4 SL to be more comfortable than the Vapor 4. I think the Vapor 4 fits a little bit better, at least for me personally, but for whatever reason, the slightly different shape in the heel with those purple or pink blister pads, they didn't really give me blisters or feel uncomfortable in the Vapor 4 SL, and that could have been down to the fact that I had broken in 2 pairs of regular Vapor 4s that made my heels bleed repeatedly, so maybe my heels were just battle hardened at that point. But even to this day, if I put both of these boots on, the Vapor 4 SL just feels more comfortable to me. So basically within 10 minutes of the boots showing up in the mail, I tried them on and then immediately put them in my bag, packed a couple of balls, got on my bike, and went to the field to give them a try. And I basically had one of the most memorable kickabout sessions that I think I've ever had in my life, because I was just so stoked on these Vapor 4 SLs that I loved the look of, I loved the feel of them. They were carbon fiber. It was just the coolest boot to have at the time, and I couldn't believe that I finally had a pair. But by the end of my session, I had noticed that my right boot was feeling a little bit different than my left boot, in that it was just oddly flexible to the point where I could tell something wasn't right. So I stopped playing, took the boots off, and to my surprise, the sole plate was cracked in half. As cool and amazing as this carbon fiber sole plate was at the time, it also was the first of its kind and had some inherent design flaws where it was almost a 100% guarantee that the sole plate would crack somewhere in the midfoot area. I remember mine cracking kind of towards the back part right before you get to the heel, but basically the spined area through the midfoot, for whatever reason, it would just give out very, very quickly. It was very common for these things to break in the first couple of wears, and unfortunately for 15-year-old me, they broke the very first time that I wore them. So here's where the story gets even more sad for 15-year-old me. Obviously, I was very upset about breaking my dream boots within hours of getting them, but I also recognized that I had just sent in my Cat P Vapor 4s into Nike warranty and got a replacement pair for free. So obviously, I was going to do the exact same thing with my Vapor 4 SL. So I biked home, called Nike warranty, and found out the horrible news that Nike's Canadian warranty program does not have any Vapor 4 SLs. So for those that don't know how Nike's warranty program works, and keep in mind that every big brand has some kind of a warranty program, basically if you buy a boot as an example, and something on that boot breaks prematurely, a stud falls off, the sole separates, something on the boot goes wrong that wasn't your fault, it was caused due to a manufacturing defect, let's say, you can make a warranty claim with Nike. Just Google Nike warranty claim, and the number or email address that you need for your country will surely pop up. It's very easy to do. So you basically call them up, tell them what's wrong, they'll give you a claim number, you send back the defective product to them, it takes about 2 weeks for them to process your claim depending on how busy they are, and they either approve or disapprove it. If they approve it, they basically give you a voucher for the retail value of the product that you bought. In the case of a Vapor 4 as an example, retail value is $200. If they approve my warranty claim, they give me a voucher for $200 to basically purchase another pair on Nike's website, but it's effectively a $200 gift card, so you can get anything you want. You just have a free $200 because of that defective product. However, back in the days of the Vapor 4, Nike did not actually have an online Canadian store. If you contact Nike Canada's warranty program, they have inventory for the sake of sending out replacements, but it's not actually a store. They just have whatever they have to send out as replacement pairs. So, to my surprise, when I sent in my Vapor 4 SLs that did have a legitimate manufacturing defect that Nike did in fact approve, I found out that they don't have any Vapor 4 SLs in their warranty program whatsoever, and there was no way for them to get me a pair. So instead of getting a replacement pair of Vapor 4 SLs, I got another pair of Vapor 4s that I already had in the exact same color, and then another $100 left over. I think they sent me a pair of Nike Frees or something like that. So yeah, not a good day. So out of money and out of luck, 15-year-old me just wore regular old Vapor 4s for the rest of that season. Until that winter when I would get a pair of Superfly 1s, leading to another very traumatic situation, a story that I told in a video that you can watch by clicking the little pop-up in the corner of the screen. If you liked this video, you'll really like that one. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please support this one with a like. If you have any questions regarding this situation, or perhaps would like to hear me tell some stories of some other boots that I've had throughout my childhood, leave your questions and suggestions down below in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get an answer out to you as soon as I possibly can. If you're not subscribed already, be sure to hit that subscribe button for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. If you're not following me on social media, all of that is linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.